So today I want to do a little bit of a video review with Luba here of a Piers Morgan interview from about 6 years ago. And what I think is interesting about this is that this is with a dating guru who's basically saying he's had enough with Western women, and he wants to date, or that he is now married. He would prefer dating women from Russia, Eastern Europe, Slavic women, same as Ukraine pretty much. And his argument that he's having with Piers Morgan on the show, and I saw this video years and years and years ago before I went to Ukraine, and when I watched it I just thought, this dude has got it. But the thing that's interesting about this is that the woman on the panel, especially one, cannot accept the fact that he has a preference for a particular type of woman, and I just think that is absolutely incredible. Would you like to watch this man advocating on morning television?
I don't know what is the video about, but I already have a question because it came to my mind about when you first saw something about coming to Ukraine, but I will ask it and then.
Okay. All right, let's go.
All right, we're going to come back when he's got his clothes on.
Actually, I'll just say here, I apologise for the quality of this. The original one that is on the Good Morning YouTube channel, they've cut the start of it off for some reason because it actually makes him look like he's a successful businessman. They cut it off and they just have him. So I managed to find the original one. So apologies for the bad quality.
Meanwhile, a controversial self-proclaimed dating guru says British women don't look good, they don't look after themselves, and they moan all the time.
Well, Richard Laruina says that British men who are
What is
unlucky in
moan?
love are better off.
Moaning is complaining.
Moaning is complaining.
Moaning is complaining.
I thought something else.
It can be something else. But in this case here, it's not a good thing.
I thought it's
Eastern Europe, specifically Russia, which is where he...
Hang on, let's just go back. I think we may have missed a little bit.
Laruina says that British men who are unlucky in love are better off heading to Eastern Europe, specifically Russia, which is where he found his wife. Let's hear some of his advice.
Let's just go back to here. Did you guys see this? Look at this woman with her nervous laugh in the red.
Where he found his
She's
wife.
scared.
Let's hear some of his advice.
She knows.
I recommend Eastern European women because they're more beautiful, they're more elegant, they're more feminine, they're very intelligent. I think they have British women beaten in just about every area. They don't look very good, they don't look after themselves. Men are visual, we want a woman that looks beautiful, dressing in a feminine way, looking sexy, and they're not really likely to do that. And of course, I think British women are very famous for moaning, complaining all the time. They just ask a lot, but give very little in return.
Oh, and that's why I'm single. Joining us now is the dating and seduction expert Richard Laruina and the relationship author Felicity Morse, which we'll talk to you in just a moment. Felicity, is your blood boiling? Yes,
I just want to point out here, she's a relationship coach or an author, so she should be an expert in what men and women want out of relationships.
I'm almost so angry I can't talk, actually. But are you just moaning all the time?
Well, that's one of those things about one of those criticisms, right? It's like saying somebody can't take criticism. It's very difficult to come back from that.
Yeah.
You haven't got an answer for it, that's great.
I haven't got an answer about being entitled and overweight. Well, no, I think being entitled is blaming your lack of relationship success on an entire nation of women.
See, that there is classic, that's just shaming the man. So he's given his preferences. He says, I don't like overweight women. I don't like women that complain. I like feminine women that dress well, that treat a man right. And she says, her response to that is not, okay, this is interesting. I'm a relationship coach. It's interesting to understand what it is that a man actually wants in a relationship. I should understand these things, considering I'm an author. But instead, she puts the shame straight onto him to say that you are not successful with women. Instead of having a little bit of self-awareness and looking at it for what it actually is. Even the fact that she's an author, you think that she must have some data to back up the fact that she's written a book.
Very successful in England, very, very successful. But I noticed that every time I saw a beautiful woman and went to talk to her, where are you from? Oh, Sweden. Oh, Russia.
There's
oh,
no
the
beautiful
Ukraine.
women in the UK.
No, there are,
I
for
think
sure.
that's
A lot of them are foreign in London, and it's just comparatively, there are way more in Russia. So, you walk down Oxford Street, you see a few beautiful women, many of them are foreign. You walk down the equivalent street in Moscow, it's like, my God, they're everywhere.
Do you
I just want to point out here, the first time that I went to Ukraine, I had the exact same thoughts. Where you're standing there and you're going, my God, like, how can there be so many beautiful women just walking down the street, just going to work or going shopping?
I think there were any other reasons why you weren't particularly successful with British women when you were
I was
looking
very
for
successful,
dates,
like I said.
But you've just said that most of the women that you were attracted to were foreign. So, you know, telling women that you're potentially going to date that they're entitled, overweight, and moan
I
all the
wasn't
time.
telling them that.
may
But it's like, it's not fair that they like converting his words. He didn't say that, but they just like, it's gaslighting.
But this
how
is,
it's called.
yeah, it is. And yeah, exactly. And that's the thing here is that these women cannot accept the fact that a man is going to another country because he doesn't want them. They can't accept it. Instead of looking at it and going, okay, what do I need to do? Men, we have to look at ourselves. If we're not getting any women, we have to go, okay, especially young men, what are we doing? I need to make more money. I need to go to the gym. I need to dress better. I need to work on my style. I need to work on my attitude towards life. Then I'm going to stop women from going away from me. These women here, they shame the man. He's weak for going away. There's something wrong with him for not wanting fat, overweight, moaning women.
May not be the most successful chat-up line.
It's not one I would recommend, but
No.
it was, this is like a process of my experience. I was in the UK until 2009, then I travelled a lot. I've been to 60 countries. You know, I went to Brazil, they're very nice. I went to Scandinavia, Denmark's got very beautiful women, but when I went to Russia, I found the whole package, the looks, the character, everything.
You're a dick, aren't you? I mean, you are. Your name's Richard.
Oh, sorry.
Literally, I'm sorry.
Very
I don't
sweet.
mean anything by
God,
that.
and see, like how pitiful and how shame, not how immature and weak is Piers Morgan, a fellow man. If that's the best he can do is make fun of his name, and he doesn't even get it. He's like, "What? I thought we're having an adult conversation here about my views on dating women, and you're insulting me because of my name."
I mean, your name is Richard, so
Well,
you
you
are
could say
literally.
Piers Morgan,
You
right?
are literally
You wanna-
a dick.
you wanna get down to that?
Your mother, right?
Yes, she is.
So does she also qualify as unattractive?
I think he's talking about the mother.
Does she also qualify as literally
You
a
wanna-
dick?
you wanna get down to that?
Your mother's English, right?
Yes, she is.
So does she also qualify as unattractive, stupid, entitled, and the rest of it, or is she an exception?
No, but she lives out there with me and she agrees.
Your mother agrees that all English women are awful, even
No,
though she's an
she
English
agrees
woman.
that they're better out there.
Right.
She says they're lovely, honest people, kind, and there's beautiful women everywhere.
Right.
I think you're just peddling like a really dangerous, like stereotypical view of beauty that is just so damaging for women and men.
Complain to Victoria's Secret. You know, if you like those kind of women, then that's what you'll find in Russia. If you don't like that kind of women, then of course I meet guys that have all kinds of different tastes, right? I meet guys that have tastes that don't coincide with mine at all, and that's fine. But for guys that like that stereotypical beautiful woman, that's where you'll find
We've got a
them.
picture of you with your Russian bride. There we are.
Russian brides.
Well, she was a Russian bride, right? I mean, she's Russian and you married her, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean,
But she's his wife, not.
Yeah, that's just they're trying to frame him as like some kind of like, I don't know, I guess like a sex tourist or something like that. But he's with a hot woman, and I guarantee you, Piers Morgan is jealous.
But I've been to Russia, and anyway.
I have slight concern, Felicity, about profiling people by where they come from. Do you?
I have concern about that. I have a concern about the fact that you think all British women are overweight.
Not all, obviously.
I mean, actually, more British, statistically, if we're talking about the obesity problem in...
I mean, statistically, it is true. More people are overweight, maybe men as well. But
Let's
if,
talk
but if say more men, say men are overweight, women are overweight. He's not overweight, so he doesn't have to worry about the men that are overweight. He only cares about the women that are overweight, right? So she's trying to put it onto him, saying, well, men are overweight as well. Well, why does he give a shit about if men are overweight? This is how ridiculous the reasoning is from some of these stupid feminist women.
in the UK, which is a slightly different debate, but actually more...
And it's like what she says there. Sorry, I'll just go back. She says it's a slightly different debate. It's the exact same debate.
More British, statistically, if we're talking about the obesity problem in the UK, which is a slightly different debate, but actually British men are overweight.
Well, Richard, we have 3 English women here. Are they all fat, entitled? Stupid? I mean...
I just want to point out this here, okay? The only woman that has kept her mouth shut is the one that is thin, beautiful,
Yeah, I
and
just
blonde.
want to say, like, this blonde is just
She-
eating and thinking, how can I disappear from this?
She hasn't said anything because she knows exactly what he's talking about. She knows exactly why men come and talk to her.
I'm curious, will she say anything till the end or no?
I don't know. But she knows exactly. She's kept her mouth shut. She's like, Pierce, shut your mouth. You're going to ruin it for us thin, non-moaning women that are feminine. Okay? Shut your mouth, Pierce.
I don't know.
What's your view of the women?
You don't know them, but you
Well, Richard,
you
I
just
just...
One second here. Here's the thing here. Pierce tries to get him to shame these women.
Presume, are they all fat, entitled, stupid? I mean...
I don't.
So he's trying to keep us cool. He's like, I don't want to say that these women here are fat. I'm just saying my preferences and what means preferences are. Pierce, tell these women here that they're fat and overweight. Do you think they're fat and overweight?
What's your view of the women?
you don't know them, but you
Well, Richard,
you
I
just
just...
would be rude. I'd like to.
No, let's hear you be brutally honest.
Well, I don't want
When
to
you're full of
debate
this,
it.
you're full of this,
I've
you've
got
got three
respect
women.
for. I've got respect for the women.
You've got
here.
no
I'm not
respect
gonna
for
get
English
personal.
women. That's the whole point.
I'm
You
generalising.
have zero respect for English women. You
I've
are
got
a
respect for my
repulsive
mother. I've
individual
got respect for
who's
many
come on here,
British
and when
women.
you
There are
actually
many.
could...
I'd just like to point out here that women have no problem on some of these talk shows laughing and talking and discussing how
Yeah.
useless men are. Shows like The View, or any show really, where they can talk about how how useless a man is, and the audience will clap and they'll say, "You go, girl," and they'll throw up hashtags. But the moment that a man says, "I prefer thin, beautiful, feminine women, and those women are in Russia," he gets shamed for it, even by other men. That's the state of it. And this was 6 or 7 years ago, and it's probably worse now, I would imagine. But a man can't even say, "I like thin, beautiful, feminine women that care about families, the family, and care about the man." He can't even say that to another man.
Confronted, when you're actually confronted by smart, intelligent, beautiful women, you can't deal with them, can you?
Look at her. Oh God, I just got to go back to her. She's just like, she's looking at him going, you know what?
Smart,
Look at
intelligent,
this.
beautiful...
Look at her. Look at her. She's like, I don't really like this conversation. She's like, this dude's onto it. I won't say anything. But...
women, you can't deal with them, can you?
Of course I can. I'm dealing with
Go
them.
on, then say what you want to say.
I
To
don't
their
want
faces.
to. I want to tell you that the women are more beautiful in Russia. And they're very nice. They're great, honest,
so they
intelligent
don't tell
women.
you that you're an idiot for thinking those things. Is that what you call
Ah.
Who's the-
Straight away insults him as a man. He's refrained from pointing out the blatantly obvious that you can see on the screen here. The only thing she can do is just resort to innuendos.
Russian women
Do you speak
don't
Russian?
tell you.
Yeah, you do, fluent Russian.
Ish.
So they can't really understand a word you're saying, can they? Did your wife even know what you were saying when you said you...
Why he's so...
Speaks perfect English.
It's just
Russian,
him.
Very good Russian.
Right, see?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Я говорю по-русски, моя жена стоит.
What's that? My name is Dick and I want to marry you. Is that it?
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
For helping people, I mean, who are the men that you're helping who currently, these hugely attractive
question.
men who are highly
Good question, finally, at least
see, he's
something.
like, yeah, thank you. Good question.
and want to have successful, committed relationships, how come these incredible men are not finding women here in the UK?
I'm a dating coach. I've been doing it for 11 years. I've got successful companies, turned over $50 million. We've got a million website visitors a month. These guys are listening to me. They want my advice, and a lot of them are very unsatisfied. And the guys that have come and visited me in Eastern Europe, in Russia, are like, wow, this is like a breath of fresh air. As I said, many men are going to be really happy with English women. That's great.
Can I just
But
say-
the men that are unsatisfied, they can listen to me, they can take my advice, and they might end up very, very happy. That's my job.
I think like you're suggesting that there's a cheat's way to being confident and right with yourself, and that cheat's way is to just move abroad. And in order to be like available in a relationship, you just have to do the hard work to feel right with yourself and be able to like show love to people and receive
can't even
love.
look at
Like,
him.
there's not a
Not
cheat's
at all.
way. You don't just
She can't even look at him.
If you are healthy, vegan, yoga,
You know what, Richard,
then
there's
probably
one
you're going to find more people
Richard,
like
here's the
that in
bottom
LA.
line.
People
Richard,
are different all over the world.
I think you are right to seek your future in Russia, because I think the chances of you ever having sex in this country again are zero. But it's been
What? Your chances of what?
His chances of having sex in, I guess, UK is zero. If I was her, I would have said, yeah, I'm never having sex here again. I mean, look, This woman can't even button up her shirt.
Would you say that?
It's been fascinating having you giving us your views.
Yeah, Rich, thanks very much, Felicity. Thanks very much indeed. 7 minutes to 8, still to come. Rich
She didn't say anything.
She said, look at her. She said nothing. She knows exactly why he's over there, because she has to listen to this woman, who doesn't seem that bad, but she's got to listen to him, and the other woman, the feminist dating coach. What book could she write? She can't even understand why a man would want a younger, more beautiful, more caring, more sincere woman in his life. She can't understand that. What? I think it's just mad. One thing, though, here that I think is quite interesting is that they were trying to shame men, right, for being like losers, desperate men, can't get women in UK, as if like women in UK are like on some sort of pedestal or something, and they're very difficult to achieve. And that's why they're going to Eastern Europe, because it's easier. Well, I do kind of agree in some sense the fact that it is easier, but that's a supply and demand issue, I guess you would call it, right? There are so many beautiful women in these certain other countries that there's so many of them they have to compete with each other, right? And that's not, I don't think that's too difficult to understand. But the fact that he understands that successful men don't want Western women, right? It's not that loser Western men want to find poor women in poor countries. Successful men do not want to share their wealth, their time, their energy, their focus on women that what he believes, how he describes it, and I don't think he's too far from the truth, women that are overweight and entitled and that moan a lot. And I think that he's right on the money. And this is a very old video clip. And I've seen some other YouTubers review this video, but it was one of the first ever video clips that I found way back in probably 2017 or 2018. And when I saw it, I was like, this dude's onto it. This guy's onto something.
But probably you have like a culture shock when you came to Ukraine, and it was like very different people walking around, because like some of the clients that I've been working, they're always making fun, like, where is she going 9 a.m.? Like, is she going to the
Dressed so
restaurant?
well.
And I said, no, she go to the grocery.
Well, this is the thing, is because I believe there's so much competition in terms of getting a man, because in countries with lower socioeconomics, the reason that they need a man is because there's no government to fall back on, to have some free housing, free healthcare, free food stamps, whatever. So why would you not look good all the time?
I don't know, my grandmother was always saying, like, even if you go to put down the trash, you need to look beautiful. You never know who you're going to meet.
Well, exactly. And just like how I said, I went to the mall with these women who are on the benefit, getting free money, free subsidies and all that. They don't need to attract a man. In fact, attracting a man would be just a pain in the ass for them. But if a woman doesn't have much money, or she doesn't have the provisions that can be provided to her for free from the West, then she has to look for a man for that. And where is a man? Everywhere there are men, right? So she needs to always look good, and she's in competition with other women as well. That's why it works. That's why this guy is attracted to Russian women. He doesn't say it here. If he did, he would have been torn to shreds by this feminist. But that's the truth of it anyway. But this is a very interesting video clip. I'll put in the link down below. But
And at least we can help in this matter if you're feeling the same as him.
yeah, anyway.
See you in the next one.
I'll see you later.